This is a great winemaking region. People tend to think Southern California is too hot, and it's not. Two things. One, grapes evolved in what's now modern day Iraq and Iran. This is Vitis vinifera, this particular type of grape that makes wines. The other thing is, as you can feel from this beautiful breeze that we have something called diurnal shift. And grapes like it where it's hot in the morning and there's a breeze and it's cool at night. And where you usually get that is when you're near a coastal area. So here, the Anza Borrego Desert heats up and Palm Springs heats up. It creates a vacuum and it just pulls that beautiful cold air in from the Rainbow Gap and just cools it down. And that fits in with the cycle is grapes actually breathe just like you and I do, except they breathe once a day. They breathe in carbon dioxide during the day and exhale oxygen at night. So it's one big breath in and one big breath out. And it's great fun being here in the vineyard when that happens.
I think so.
Yeah, because when you know that cool air is coming, even before it gets here, you hear the birds come out. Then you hear the rabbits show up. And it's just, it's a little bit like Snow White.
Yeah.
You know, all the animals sort of come out.
Scurry.
Yeah, and it's just so cool. You know that the land is responding. It knows that cool air is coming.
Very
I
cool.
mean, it's alive. It's a system. That's the essence of regenerative agriculture. It's not inert machine. It's a living being. And so you have to treat, there it is. There's that beautiful wind. You have to treat it like that. I would go as far as saying it's a sentient being and it needs to be treated with that respect and love.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Greg Pennyroyal is a vineyard manager at Wilson Creek Winery, and with more than 40 years of viticulture experience, he's implemented regenerative farming practices throughout the Wilson Creek vineyard since its inception to create a diversified and resilient ecosystem that yields top grape quality.
So is it fair to say that your job is to make sure that the vineyards stay healthy?
Yes. It's more than that. What's so interesting about winemaking is that we're not just out for production or for tonnage. We're out for quality, and we're also out for expression. There's something in winemaking called terroir, and it's the expression of the land. And the way you get expression from the land is to have active biology. And so you look at that whole system of active biology and what makes that work. And fortunately, what makes that work is actually the plants. If you look at the symphony orchestra of what's going on biologically, the plants are the conductors. They're in charge, they're running the whole system. And in winemaking, to make really great wine, you want grapes that are biochemically balanced. And the way you get that is by having biochemically balanced soil and a healthy system, so the whole thing's working as a total system.
Great.
So we practice something called regenerative agriculture.
Okay, talk a little bit more about regenerative agriculture and I don't know, maybe what makes it unique for Wilson Creek or
Sure.
maybe how your approach is different, because one of the things I've learned is that every winery, every farmer, you know, they all have their own approaches and ways that they innovate
Yes.
and do things. So how do you guys do things here?
So what's interesting about regenerative agriculture is it doesn't have a really specific definition like organic or biodynamic. What you're looking at in regenerative agriculture is you realize that all the systems are related and that everything's connected, everything. You here in the vineyard are now connected to the vineyard, and some of the microbiome in the vineyard is going to go home with you. Oh. You are now part of our terroir.
I am part of the
Yes.
terroir, okay.
So this is the Cabernet Sauvignon. This is some old vine Cabernet Sauvignon.
All right.
So when you come back and have some, your terroir will be a part of that, your microbiome. So what we're doing with regenerative agriculture is we recognize that these systems are all connected. And so we focus on the health of the plants. I do a bi-weekly sap analysis, which is sort of like doing a blood test if you're in a hospital. And we look at what deficiencies or what excesses the plants might have. And then we have micro brewers and bio brewers, and we have all sorts of stuff that we make these concoctions of sort of like kefir yogurts, and we feed it to the plants. We're spoon feeding the plants all season long. Because what we're after is that maximum biochemical complexity and density of the grapes. And it's that complexity that makes great wines. The other cool thing about grapes is grapes are one of the most biochemically diverse fruits there are. That's why, for example, the Viognier we're drinking, you're getting lychee, you're getting white peach, and you're getting white flower. You're getting all those things. Some of the components are actually the same component like in lychee that gives lychee that kind of floral fragrance. Other things like the white peach, it says simile. Your brain picks up something and the closest thing it can find is white peach, so it says white peach. But you get those complexities out of grapes. In the vineyard side, we obviously take this very seriously, and this is the cutting edge of science for us. But on the enjoyment side, it's wine. It's meant to be enjoyed. it's meant, that's part of that like connection, is you don't have to know the technical aspect of what's going on. We just want you to come here and enjoy a glass of wine.